pushing buttons more again. Oh.
If you need more time, that is all cool too. Like,
Moons
no
of
worries.
Karak. Episode 7.5. Okay, Joe, it's just you and me here. We're doing a session 0 for your new character, Bindi.
Yeah.
And we're doing this because you feel like Vinzo's run his course, and
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, sometimes this happens.
To pardon the Bard pun, like, he almost feels a little one note.
Yeah. Right? And yeah, so
I want to keep it, like, fresh and, I guess, for party cohesion.
Party cohesion, yeah.
I guess.
And your plan is, so, because you've got Katie Bear, and Katie Bear's your actual daughter, and, like, you watched just minutes ago Mandrick the Red be torn apart by a dragon, like flesh and bone split apart and all that jazz, and then Keldor reversed time and brought him back.
Yeah.
And so your motivation has changed to being a little bit more survival driven for Katie's sake and getting her out of this place, basically.
Exactly. Seeing the inherent danger in what's happening. He's got a lot of truths that he has to tell, Katie Bear, especially with the loss of who she thought was her father, Vinzo's brother, Victor. He's got he wants a quiet and safe place that they can spend some time together, that he can ensure that she's going to be safe.
Yeah.
So Vinzo's definitely priorities have changed considerably, especially with watching what happened to Mandrick.
Right. And the monks of Zern and Kraken are more than happy to help you get away, basically.
All right. I'm sure the Warpshell dragon probably already saw it coming. I mean, these are godly beings in a sense.
Yeah. So much so that as you go to discuss it with the Elder, and they wish you well, and they load you up with little supplies, they tell you that it's already waiting for you, and you walk out and you see there is a shuttle pod from the dragon.
Oh.
And
for Vinzo?
For Vinzo, yeah.
Yeah, Katie Bear's, I'm guessing, on it, or is it to take him?
No, she's still up on the dragon. It's just a pod waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is not the main central shuttle. This is one of, like, the organic little biopods. And yeah, so you lift off and are never look back. Maybe you leave a recording behind for the guys or something. Do you? Do you leave anything behind?
Most certainly, they would be finding his synthtar with a flashing button on the record or the loop, I guess, element of it.
Okay.
Kind of a press me.
Okay. Nice. Well, we'll have to ham that up then when the session rolls around. You can get the message. Yep. Okay, so meanwhile, in other parts of the universe, there's a planet out in the deep. A planet that is torn by war and conflict. It's a global civil war, so it's not like, every street is burning. There are skirmishes all around its planetscape. It's an M-class planet with lots of different biomes, much like you'd have, like Earth. Earth is here. It's not just, a hot planet or a cold planet. It's one of the nicer ones in the universe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whoop.
No single biome planets.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
All right, so that is where our next story begins on Zavos.
Ooh.
In a remote mountain monastery on the edge of one of the larger deserts is a Zuran outpost. It's fairly significant in size. It has quite a few initiates and acolytes, and our story begins with one very special acolyte who has passed his initiate phase, Bindi.
Ooh, that's pretty hard.
And so in your... Yes, this is totally found. I did not draw this. If anyone knows who drew this, let me know. I'll put a note in the comments, because don't know. Okay, so Bindi, you are in a familiar situation. You're sitting on your bed in your room in the monastery, and your master, well, he's the head of the entire monastery. Bento is basically pointing his fingers at you, and he's very upset. It's dry in the room. It's a little bit cool. Bindi, I've told you for the last time that infernal technology that blipping around is absolutely forbidden. We have no technology in the Zuran Order. Do you understand me, young one?
Oh, of course. I shall keep it secret away.
Don't you, young one? I'm 250,000 years old. There, mister. I recognize somebody who's just blowing smoke up my bumhole.
Ah, I assure you, I did not. I haven't used one of the smoke bombs in many, many moons. I am getting better. I do appreciate.
What? Listen here, Bindi. This is very important. The tenets of the Zuran Order have lit the way for thousands of years. Balance, son. Technology is forbidden. You are given over to watch the passing of the universe. That is our purpose.
Well, then surely for balance, shouldn't such things as technology come into that equation? If we are watching everything, the way everything progresses, surely to achieve balance, there must be an equal factor to the mysticism, to the tenets that we preach. Both sides must be shown.
He has a cane in his hand, and he reaches out, and he knocks you on the top of the head. No!
His head half sinks into the shell.
Right, exactly. Focus on your studies! You haven't even constructed a basic light sword yet. And he has, you have like a little table in your room, and there's a little blue yog crystal and a bunch of like parts, cylinder it would fit into, and a bunch of stuff. And he's like, you've been at this for weeks. Get it done, son. Get it done. You are confined to your quarters until this is finished. No supper. And then he kind of storms off.
At the no supper, his stomach reminds him that he really enjoys food.
Right.
Kind of gives him a grumble, and he looks down at the components.
Nice. And we're at a target 9 here.
Oh, okay.
Until further notice.
Okay. Well, I guess in a quest for peace, perhaps some manner of aggression is needed. I do not like it. But if it must be so, then it must be so. And I guess he sets himself to, again, trying to figure out this art of constructing this light sword.
Yeah. Do you do that? Are you gonna make attempts to try and assemble it, or are you gonna leave it alone?
I think to appease his master, he might make the attempts to just show, more of the see. I am following the tenants.
Okay. All right. So you have 5 rolls. You need 3 successes in order to complete the skill challenge.
Okay. I think his first one. He's just going to kind of look over the parts to see if he can figure out how they might be assembled.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd want intelligence for that. Possibly.
Yes. No. This is going to be intelligence driven.
Okay. Yeah. So looking over him just to see if he can even figure out how this, as he sees it, this weapon of war, how these parts go together.
Okay.
Oh. All right.
All right, out the gate. Okay, so that's 1 success. And as you start to make an assembly, you hear, very distracting, this loud vroom sort of overhead, like a starship has just flown very close to the roof of the facility. And then our target jumps from a 9 to a 12.
Ooh.
As the distraction is introduced.
Oh, goodness. I could have sworn there were flight restrictions in place. Whatever they're doing out there is... I have to concentrate.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Weapon of war. So confusing. And he again returns to trying to assemble this, trying not to look over his head to see what's happening around him. Ooh. Oh, man, what is going on out there? No, I must stay focused on my studies. Master is counting on me. And, I guess, attempt again.
Okay.
Would this one still be counted as an easy?
You just rolled a 4, so I don't think it matters.
Right.
No. The easy rolls are suspended for the skill challenge because it's a skill challenge. It's 3 out of basically 3 out of 5.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh.
Oh man.
No-go. I think he drops a part and goes looking for it. Oh goodness. Why do they make these bits so small?
Oh man. Well, so you've made 3 attempts now. Is that what I'm looking at, or did you make 2?
Yep. Oh no, that's 3.
That's the 3. Okay. All right. Sorry. So immediately after, there's something that's going to happen between each attempt. So all right. So after that second one, you heard a loud boom noise. Basically, it's something. The foundations of the monastery are shaken and such. And you make your next attempt, and then next. You see a bunch of children run by, and there are people kind of running back and forth outside of your room because your door is open. And one of the acolytes, young Tim, he sticks his head in the room and says, Bindi, there's a ship that crashed outside. There's someone out there. He's injured. And then he turns and he runs away.
Oh no. Yeah, Bindi would, leap to his feet as fast as his, torch shape would allow, and goes making his way. Like, I mean, if somebody is injured, they must be tended to.
Okay. What do you do with your? You've got 3 attempts. Are you going to continue? What are you going to do with the material?
I think
for the light sword.
I would imagine he probably has it laid out on, some sort of like a cloth or a mat of sorts. Okay. I think he would just gather the corners up and tie it shut and hang it through his belt.
Okay, so you are going to take the bits with you.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah, and under his his own personal thought that life is important, he's kind of leaving the construction of this light blade to the side in lieu of going to help an injured person. If there was a crash, that must be dealt with.
okay, cool. All right, so you make your way through the passageways of the monastery. Again, there are people kind of running around, and it's always a little bit chaotic in the monastery because there are peoples of all ages and species and race and that kind of thing. And as you make your way out towards the bottom, it's very easy to find where the ship crashes. There's sort of some smoke coming off of it, and you approach to find this scene.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Are you conscious? So he kind of moves closer.
Okay, and you just hear click 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 click, and it's in some other language that you don't quite understand.
I can't understand. One moment. And he kind of closes his eyes and rubs his fingers together over his head and attempts to cast tongues.
Okay.
Let's see, and
still at a 12.
I'm actually going to put it at power 2. That's for duration. So if successful, that'll give me 2d4 rounds. All right, so. Whew. Yep.
Whoa! Knocked it out of the park.
Whoa.
Yeah. So as you're listening closely, whoa! Please, help me. I'm injured. There, the capital. It's madness. They're killing all the off-worlders. I just barely made it out alive. I need to leave this world. Oh, but I'm injured. I can't. And he goes unconscious. And it is in this moment that your master comes running up behind you. Master Bino. Bindi! What the devil are you doing out of your room? You are confined to your quarters.
But this man is injured. He needs to get off world. I heard him say so. He's injured. I cannot just stand by and leave him to his fate.
That is madness, son. It's just a bug man. I mean, listen to him. He's just going click, click over and over again.
No, I opened my mind to the universe. I can understand his speech, master. It is what pulled me out here. He has told me so. His injuries prevent him from going. Like, we must help him. I cannot stand by. I cannot while he is injured. Bugman or no.
Listen here, Bindi. And at this point, like 3 or 4 other Zuran monks show up, kind of behind him. And it says, "We are the Zuran. We are of balance. I know this is difficult for one as young as you to understand, but we must allow the world to take its course. We must allow both life and death. It is not our place to decide if this one lives or goes. It is up to the universe."
Exactly. I'm so glad you understand. The universe is what had him crash here, so that his injuries might be eased by myself. Otherwise, the universe would not have placed this before me.
Bindi, we shall tend to him. Go back to your room and finish your saber immediately!
But I do not feel that is right. The universe would not have brought me out here. Don't you see? It will only take me a moment. I can have him on his feet. I can feel the life essence around me. I can help him.
Bindi? Are you a Zuran or not? I am your master. You will obey my commands. There are many other adepts here, perfectly capable of assisting this bugman. We will take him to the infirmary. You will go back to your room.
I'm sorry. I feel like I am being tested in this moment. I feel like it is more important for me to disobey your orders and do what I must do. And boom, Bindi, completely going against the tenant, uses that phase core to blink directly over to the man to lay his hands upon him. And I'm going to use my healing touch at power 1.
Okay. Roll it up.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha! Big rolls tonight.
Yeah. Alright, so that is going to... Let's see, with a +2? Alright, give me one moment to get that D8 up there. Even though he knows, it's directly against the orders, like, he's certain the universe has placed him here. For 6, as he draws, life energy into this bugman.
Nice. Yes, the bugman, you watch as it kind of takes a deep breath. It remains unconscious, but it's obviously doing much, much better. You watch as a couple of shards of metal sort of slide out of one of its carapace, corners, and it's definitely on the mend, but it's not quite conscious yet. And Master Pino is seeing this is absolutely furious. That is enough, Bindi! You are on kitchen duty tonight for the entire order! You will clean every last plate by yourself! I don't care if it takes you until 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow! And he sort of storms off.
Of course, Master. I accept that fate.
And he points it to the other Zurans to say, You and you! Take him to the infirmary! As discussed! And, they sort of storm off.
Right, and Bindi returns to the monastery, plodding along towards the kitchens.
Yes. They're sent to the kitchens. Yes, so quite a bit of time passes as you're scrubbing pots and pans and helping the cooks that are there. They all seem to be pretty soured by your presence. You don't feel very welcomed, unfortunately. How long ago did you? I mean, you've been here long enough to become an acolyte, right? And so be on an initiate level. But how long has Bindi been here? At the monastery.
And I would say, I don't know, at least 10 years.
Okay.
He's a little slower than everybody else, so maybe some things have taken him a little longer. And obviously he has not adhered to every tenet of the faith. So, under his personal thought of some things are more important than placing a rule on life.
Right.
Because he feels, I guess in the words of the Goldblum, life finds a way, and he will be that way.
Excellent. And have you? Do you have any clutchlings that you know of, or? I mean, your race, obviously, the Tortons are nearly extinct.
Yeah. Not that he is aware of. Oops. Let me go back and double check his origin. The origin of Gifted. He was born with an innate magical power that has defined him.
Right.
I think he might have kind of been sent away from the rest of his clutchlings, or the rest of his brood there, perhaps in a worry that, I don't know if perhaps, I'm not 100% sure on the actual nature of Tortons, but it may not have been the right way for his clan or tribe or his house, and maybe they had passed him off to somebody that he would be better suited for.
Yeah, he must have been there for some time though. If you managed to get some of the Torton technology built into you, like the phase core.
All right.
Yeah, and I think that'd be pretty common that the Tortons would bio and genetically engineer, technologies into their own peoples. Being one of the greatest technological advanced civilizations in the universe.
Right. Yeah. Built into the shell.
Yeah, so to speak. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So yeah, that might have perhaps been with a different family. If maybe, I think it might be interesting if he was, born into an egg clutch of warriors, and they found right off the bat, like, this one is no warrior. So maybe he was set into a different caste or house among the Tortons.
Nice.
So I'm sure he does have, clutch mates, just he's not aware of who they are.
Cool.
But I'm sure there's probably some way they would recognize each other of, being from the same clutch. Or something, if he saw one. I don't know.
All right. To be explored later date then. So, while you're washing dishes, you have this looming sense that someone large is standing behind you.
Oh, yes. And he turns.
And there's the Beetle Man.
Oh, friend. And again, works up the casting to understand him. So let me, and I'll just put that at a power 1 this time. Whew, 16, nice. That will be for 2 rounds for language.
Nice. So he immediately moves in next to you and starts to help you wash dishes. And you hear the clicking turns into more of a bass sound as you hear, "Life is yours."
Oh, friend, this is... Please, I was tasked to do this on my own as punishment. I cannot ask you to step in. You must rest.
My honor requires life debt. Please do not dishonor me.
No dishonor. Of course. And I kind of step over to make room and continue doing cleaning duties. Are you feeling well?
Much better. Ship fuel recharging as we speak.
That is good.
And it's at this point that you see all of the masters, like all of them, sort of stream through one of the doors in the kitchen, heading down into the cellars.
Oh, must be something important happening if all the masters are going down. And he motions back. They are who's in charge here. He says to the bug man. Well, he's got the time.
Yeah. The bug man just sort of clicks. It's intelligible, even with the translation spell. It's probably like a grunt, basically. The spell doesn't really know how to interpret that. Just
right, just a kind of just a sound.
Just a sound.
Right.
Yep. Okay, so you continue washing. Another hour at least goes by, and the head chef walks up to you, and he is basically a little bit flustered. He says, "This, we need another cask. Get down into the cellars and bring one up."
Of course. And he bows his head. No movement from the body, just the long, the neck kind of craning down.
That's awesome.
Or his head tip. And looks over to the bug man, and knowing that he can't understand him right now, he just holds up a finger, like kind of that one moment gesture, and head makes his way down into the cellar.
Nice.
Hoping the body language is understood.
Yeah. Whether it is or not, he begins to follow you, basically down the stairs.
Right.
And so we'll end up right here.
Ooh. So cool.
Yes. So, you're down in sort of the undercraft of the building here. And you see there's a table laid out. And it looks like there's some papers and things on the table. And then you've got the casks that you need to get to over here. What do you want to do?
I guess first thing I'll head over to the casks. Perhaps taking a kind of glance at the papers, his curiosity, as he makes his way towards.
Okay, cool. It looked to be like handwritten notes written to Master Bino.
Curious for these to be left out. Perhaps they are open for reading. I think he might become a little distracted and kind of give one of them a heavier inspection. What's this then? So he kind of gives a read through whatever one's on top.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you see it. It's addressed to Master Bino from Elder Zilk of the Moons of Talon. And it says, the War Masters have come to Karak. We will deal with them. They shall not impede the work of the Great One.
Ooh, that's ominous. He sets that down and picks up another one. I mean, unless it's more of the same. Shall not impede? That doesn't sound right. Where's the balance in that?
Yeah, so the next piece of paper you find, it basically it says it's a report from someone that you don't recognize the name at all. Brother Bindi. And he reports that the Imperium has begun moving their fleet in order to assault the Devourer.
The Imperium? I didn't think they existed anymore. Why would they have a fleet? He's kind of talking back towards the bug man. Not at first realizing language barrier.
Nice.
That'd be a thing.
Yeah. And it's at this moment a couple of things happen. You feel a breeze kind of coming from over here behind you.
Yeah.
And you feel like you hear whispers.
Oh, yeah, he'll set the paper down and kind of turn back, craning his neck out to try and listen in.
Yeah, so as you get closer to that, you begin to see that oh, there you go. You've never seen this before, but it almost looks like there's a passage back there, leading behind the barrels. That's
curious. Yeah, I think he'll kind of weasel, adjust the barrels as needed to try and wiggle himself through. Oh, suck in your shell, Bindi. I don't know if he could actually make through there, but I think.
Well, I mean, you could just blip through there too.
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah, bink. He's gonna blink himself through with that phase core, that near move without traveling between.
Awesome. Okay.
Kind of looking back towards the bug man, holding his hand up like, hold back. Not sure if the larger fellow can even fit.
Yeah, probably not. It does. I wouldn't think so. from what I can tell. Okay, so there we go. As you sort of come around the corner, there's this sort of natural cave hidden here behind the edge of the monastery, and you see all of the elders down here, including. Oops, I left his token on the other page.
How strange.
Including your master.
What sort of secret meeting would the masters need?
And you overhear them discussing the ritual. It's almost complete. It'll take a few more weeks to really finish the touches, but we will be able to help the Great One defend himself against the filthy Imperium.
The Great One? The letter said Devourer. The Imperium fighting the Devourer. Why would they want to assist the Devourer?
We
That's
will.
the end of all life.
We will use the wild magics. We will focus the entire monastery's power into this ritual. And there is absolutely no one who can stop us. Save maybe those war masters, but they're far from this place.
Oh, don't do it, Bindi. Don't do it. Don't do it. And despite his own telling himself what he should not do, I think he kind of steps forward out into the thing. Masters, tell me you cannot be helping this Devourer. You know the stories as well as I do. There is no balance there. There was only an ending. And then kind of curls his head halfway down into his shell, knowing that he should not have opened his mouth. But internally knowing that, like, the protection of life is too great, that he can't keep quiet listening to this.
Oh, man. Yeah, so your master steps forward. Bindi, is that you? You're supposed to be up in the kitchens, damn it!
I was sent to retrieve a barrel, and I heard what you all were saying. You cannot be serious.
Oh, Bindi. I told you, son. We are here to watch the passing of the universe. To achieve perfect balance, all things must end. It is the only way to reach true perfection.
But they end in their own time, not forced by your hand. This is no balance at all, Master.
Bindi. Most do not reach this truth until they become a master. And you are far from that, as I can now tell. We are no psychers to control the Devourer, using it to destroy rival civilizations. That is not our place.
It seems you would use it to destroy all civilizations. To me, that sounds like you are no master either. This is wrong. Life should be protected, Master.
Oh, Bindi. And he shakes his head. Son, I'm afraid you leave us little choice. And he looks around at all the masters and he points at you and he says, take him into custody. And you see basically like at least a dozen men pull out light swords and they all sort of beam up and they begin approaching you.
This does not work. This does not work at all. Peace, brothers, peace! He kind of holds his hands up, taking a couple steps back till he thumps into the wall. Oh. And, I think, only have limited use of them, but I think he's going to pop one of those smoke capsules into the ground.
Okay.
Which engulfs a near area in smoke and makes all rolls hard till they clear. And then phase core.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, smoke capsule kind of starts filling that area down there with smoke. And he winks out.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so you hear, coughing and angry mutters. There's a little bit of smoke that starts to drift out of the cavern behind you. And then another one over here. Actually, some more smoke comes out over here. And then you start to see dozens of these guys sort of pour out into the room.
Ooh, yeah, he's gonna rush as fast as he can rush over towards the bugman and just pointing towards the stairs like, we have to move, friend, come on. And so I think so taking his near move, which is the farthest he can go,
okay,
because of Torton's state, and then phase core as an action for a near move without traveling.
Right, of course, yeah. So you're essentially going to take and start jumping with your phase core.
Yeah, it's like the cheat, I guess, for the double nanner, because Tortons cannot do a double nanner normally on their own.
Right.
Phase core helps for that. Otherwise, he only gets half.
All right.
Or otherwise can only move near. Heavy shell, but thankfully extra protection.
Okay, so with the Zurin Masters chasing behind you, you manage to kind of make it out of the monastery proctor with Click in tow.
Yeah, and I mean, still a little obvious with the companion here that's following him. I think he'd still pull his hood up on that roadman's cloak.
Okay.
Which the hood is deep and dark, concealing identity to any passing glance. I mean, if they really look, they're definitely going to see him, but at a glance, hoping they might overlook him. But he does have a bugman following him,
right.
So it may not actually be working.
Right, and the bugman, I mean, he's there with you. He watches you do it, so he kind of knows where you are, and he actually, you hear him speak to you. Bindi, my ship. We should get to my ship.
Oh, you speak the language. Oh, that is good, friend. That is good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I speak the same language I always speak.
Oh. The universe provides.
Nice.
Quickly, to your ship, friend. What should I call you? I am Bindi. Oh, you know I am Bindi.
My people do not have names. But if you give me name, I have name.
Well, friend you are, friend I shall call you. Yeah, I guess, for now he's just gonna call him friend.
Okay. Alright, so you and friend, under the cover of night, make it to his crashed starship. It's a junker, but it'll get the job done. And you're able to head off planet into the stars.
Oh.
Where do we go, Master Bindi?
I think to Karak, or am I saying that right? Karak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to Karak. The letter I read said that there were war masters there trying to stop the Devourer. But it cannot be that the monks of Zurin would help that. Or help the Devourer and fight against these... Oh, I don't like the name War Master. But if they are there to protect life, I think that is where we should go. The moons of Karak. We must find these masters of Zivos to help them. We cannot let this Devourer do what it was born to do. That is, life is important. Life is important, friend. We must help that.
We have just enough fuel, master. Just barely enough. We go.
Oh, I am no master. Please, friend, call me Bindi.
Bindi.
He
And
delightedly kind of smiles from the seat.
nice. And then from there, your ship rockets. You don't have access to slip space, but thankfully this is a place that's not that far from where you guys are in galactic terms. So you guys start going into sort of hyperspace, and that is the end of our little mini session here.
Oh, nice. Man, there are some scary implications in that.
Right? Fun times!
Yeah. Making notes, like, certain monks helping the Devourer? That's kind of terrifying. I think Bindi kind of feels a little lied to. Like, a lot. Like, there's no balance in forcing the end of everything. Or helping the end of everything.
Oh, but there is. You hear a master's voice in your mind.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, awesome.